Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth and we are back on Miss Alvarol. And she needs to find this spot that she needs to go to read this journal. Because, you know, she can't just read it anywhere. Oh boy, there are whites everywhere here. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of some of these guys. Okay. So I have no clue where I'm going except it's somewhere in here in this area full of dead guys who really need to just go back to being dead. Oh, a blight. Oh, I know he's gonna be a problem. Okay. Not if I don't let him be a problem. This kind of reminds me of... I cannot remember the name of the ruins, but they're in the Barrow Downs. In the South Barrow Downs, I believe. And they're full of white and stuff, too. Another blight. Oh, a blight collar. Jeez. There are just all sorts of fun things here, aren't there? This appears to be the location about which Narndir wrote. What's this? I see a treasure cache over here. You found an ancient treasure cache. Very good. All right. You have discovered the stone seat. Make sure there's nothing here to disturb us. The writing is so evocative, you can almost imagine the terrible sights that awaited Prince Amondir.
By the time he finally reached Narndir, Prince Amondir's keep was a ruined shell.
Its people lay heaped and bloodied in the streets, the head of its defenders mounted on stakes above the gates. Of his mother, Luiloth, there was no sign at all. And in the shattered hall, seated upon Amondir's throne, was the grey fear. I hesitate to write what I have learned, but I must. I must. My duty compels me to write it, to write the truth. But can it be right to put into words such horror, such shame as this? It wars within me. Prince Amondir stood in the charnel house that was Dol Ernil, and he looked into the eyes of the creature that sat upon the throne, and he knew the identity of the grey fear. It was Prince Amondir who sat there, Amondir's own grandfather, but the servant of evil that stared back was a stranger entire. With a horrible smile upon its mocking visage, the apparition raised its hand, pointed at Amondir's terrified grandson, and the dead rose. The whites had simply been waiting for their master's command, Narndir writes. Now they emerged from among the slain, including some freshly killed in the recent battle, and they fell upon Amondir and his knights. Panicking, the prince fled the burning stronghold, escaping into the Barrow Downs, but he might as well have tried escaping a smith's hammer by fleeing to his anvil. The Angmarim were waiting there in ambush for him, and among their number were hill folk, orcs, and cultists of the Witch King. The dead drove Amondir's dwindling company straight towards his enemy force. And there in the darkness, caught between the living and dead, every last one of Cardolin's defenders died. Prince Amondir perished last of all, sobbing with despair as one of Cardoon's warriors drove a spear of cold iron through his heart. His bones and those of his company vanished among the downs. I have written it. Is that what you wanted of me? I have finished it. My duty is fulfilled, but the account is too terrible. I will tear these pages from my journal, and I will hide them. Yes, let none know how badly the men of Cardolin failed. I will bury the Witch King's victory as deep allows, and so triumph over Angmar myself. The Great Fear has not been seen in hundreds of years, and I will not give the creature life by letting this account be read by anyone. If there is any need for these pages in the days to come, I will retrieve them myself. But I can see no such day ahead of us, and that is a blessing. Wow. This is quite the dark tale. Oh, excuse me. You're returned already. Very good. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna hold off a second because unfortunately this skill has a pretty hefty knockout. Knocked unconscious and cannot move or act, and it lasts for 15 seconds. That's why I'm saying these guys are pretty nasty, and like I said, they show up in the Barrow Downs. I don't think I can jump down from there. At least not in Survive. No. Alright. Let's get rid of you. I'm gonna get rid of you over there. Wait for your cloud of disease to go away. And while we're waiting, we'll at least get rid of this guy. They're not called foul breaths for no reason. Restless dead. Yes, you're all very restless. Is there a way down? Well, there is now. Oh, hi. That wasn't graceful. I guess I got the job done. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Oh, I think somewhere in all that I leveled up. Very good. Okay, which way am I going? This way? Oh, probably. Hi. Excuse me. Could you escort me to the nearest exit? No? Okay. Get out of your toxic cloud. Oh, hello, Manelder. You are not going to like what I have to say.
Narndir was at Sarn Ford when the Black Riders attacked.
Narndir was at Sorn Ford when the Black Riders attacked Alvarel, and he fled as the others of the Dunedain did. We found his body not far from the Greenway, and I thought perhaps he made for the gathering place of his kin. But what if it was not so? What if he made instead for the lone square ruin that stands further south beside the Greenway? I wonder. I think he saw the return of the race and believed the grey fear would once again haunt its lands of old, Cardolan that was. I think he was running to retrieve the torn pages of his journal, Alvarel, so the Dunedain would know the terror that they might be up against. He wanted to arm them with the knowledge of what they might face, but he was struck down by the Black Riders by the Nazgul before he could reach the place where he hid his true account. I think Narndir knew the peril and died trying to warn us of it. The Lord of the Nazgul plans to raise the grey fear from its slumber, endangering all of the north. Ooh, okay, I like those. Okay.
I see the hand of the Witch King all about us.
I will tell Gorwyn what we have learned of our foes, but she has kept watch on Dol or Neil for longer than we have. I've suggested you ask her what needs doing in the keep, and in blighted Tirn Gorthad, I see the hand of the Witch King all about us, and it must be opposed if we are able to oppose it. Alright, so let me go ahead and... Where is this? Is that the ones? Yes. I'm going to switch that out. Looks like I've already switched those out. Oh, and we got some nice food. Very good. And since we leveled up, we probably have... Oh, we don't have any point to spend. Gorwyn.
I'm younger than Maneldir by some years.
I am younger than Maneldir by some years. Though we both grew up in the Anglo Mathithal, I did not meet him before he left us. His name was always spoken in whispers, a warning to children that not everyone should take the oath, that not everyone should swear to the life of a Dunedain. Maneldir sighs heavily, and Gorwyn raises a gloved hand. I do not mean to injure your feelings, Maneldir. What I mean is this. I expected a monster. When you came to my camp, I thought you must be fleeing from hardship, escaping from some trouble of your own making. Such were the tales we were told in childhood, but I find instead you are a man, not a monster, and you fight on behalf of those who cannot, willing even to return to your former kin to bring them warning, though they sting you with barbs and biting tongues. I see honor in that. But there are monsters out there, Alvarel, real monsters. I do not need to hear the full account of Maneldir's fallen friend to know that, for I knew it already, if not its true extent or depth. White Stalk turned Gorthad, and there are other dangerous threats as well. Spine Crebain, pestilential crawlers, and the gaunt men who prowl among the barrows. Each troubles the Dunedain and their allies in this land. There are swords both within the keep and without that exude frightening auras of evil, and they must be collected and destroyed. Despite the presence of their terrible protectors, can all this be done? Alright, so we need to defeat whites, Crebain crawlers or gaunt men, collect ancient swords among the ruins. And yes, I do believe we can manage some of that, if not all of it. And how long does this one last? Diseased. Oh, and here's an ancient. An unpleasant weight lies heavily upon the stones beneath this towering wall. Collected ancient sword. Oh, hi. Hello. Al Aglond. Is that your name, huh? Or was that your name in life? There's a blight collar. Excuse me. Get your hiney over here. Or at least what's left of it. Yep. And we're gonna wait here because we've got that. I don't know if I can, maybe I can get rid of it. Okay. Very good. That is one nasty skill. Well, we've gotten one of the things done here. I need to find more of these swords. Oh, I see a sword over there. Okay. An aura of fear grips your heart as you approach the western wall. Okay, so I guess each of these is going to have its own... Yep. Have its own evil that comes with it. Okay. So we've gotten 2. And now we understand the pattern. We find the sword, we pick it up, and then we have a named mob to fight. Probably somebody either was felled by the sword or who belonged to the sword, one or the other. And actually, oh, I guess the whole quest. Ah, there's another one right there. Let's get rid of this guy first. The stench of death and decay fills your nostrils as you approach this corner. Bellerod. Okay. So we have found 3 of the 4. Anything up here? No. Oh, this is kind of messy, though. You see the graphics clipping through there. All right, go this way. Oh, there's another blight priest. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, and that guy has... Okay. They're always fun. Okay. That one reminds me of mobs in the Lone Lands, in the red swamp near... Hold on. Not Oscalod. Another place, I'm just not thinking of the name of it right now. Oh. Okay. He wasn't any ordinary mob. He was a named one. So he was an elite. Well, we took care of him. Broken urns. More restless dead. Ah, blight collar. Ha. He had a skill to mute her voice. It turns out she didn't quite need her voice to defeat him. I haven't even seen a single crawler. Seen plenty of gaunt men, though. Completed Dead Slayer of Cardalin. Oh, very good. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Hey. Nothing there. Nothing there. All right. Keep going. I feel like I'm going in circles. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But... Ah, White Priest. Oh, you stinker. Yeah. Take that. Alright, so now all we need is one more sword. Which we're not going to get by going that way. How far this way is it? Oh, excuse me. Rude. Very rude. Alright. It could very well be down there. It's the first time I've actually heard Craven in here. But I haven't seen a single one. Oh, hi, Manelder. Okay. Somewhere around here. Go here somewhere. Ah, right there. Ancient sword. The air beneath the stone table feels foul and stagnant. Sarlant. Alright, so we can go talk to Corwin again. Having done everything she asked us to do.
It is no small feat to brave the dangers of Tern Gorthard and the keep of Dol Erniel.
It is no small feat to brave the dangers of Tern Gorthod and the keep of Dun Erniel, Alvarol. I am grateful for your efforts on behalf of the Dunedain. Manelder has shown me the account in Narndir's journal of the Grey Fear, and if what the scholar wrote is true, the creature is a spirit drawn from the pits of Angmor, bound to the body of Prince Amondir. In life he was the lord of Tern Gorthod, and Dol Erniel was his home. Surely the site will still have some meaning for him. Does the Grey Fear remain somewhere within the keep? or has the presence of the Witch King and riders in black already disturbed his slumber?
Those swords should be brought to Halbarad at Sangford. He will know how best to deal with them.
Those swords should be brought to Halbarad at Sarnford, Alvaral. He will know how best to deal with them. And when you return, perhaps we will have learned where the Grey Fear may be found. I agree with Gorwin. The creature must be somewhere within Dol or Nil. You tell Narndir to be careful, for Narndir's journal paints a frightening and deadly account of the creature that brought death to Cardolan in the line of its princes. I will, my friend, fear not. I will see you when you return. Bring the ancient swords to Halbarad. And of course that is some distance away. So, I will do that. And be right back. Okay, so we're back at Sarnford, and my intention was to grab the nearest stable and ride here, but I ended up going through some barrows that were absolutely more terrifying than anything in Breland. In fact, I'm assuming we were supposed to go down there at some point because I found the crawlers, I found the Kerbane, but I'm guessing we'll have to go in there for some sort of quest. It is definitely on a whole nother level of terrifying from the Barrow Downs in Breland. Although, to be fair, if you're new to the game and going into the Barrow Downs for the first time, it's relatively disquieting. Alright, Halberd.
I have not forgotten you, nor the warning you brought to us of Sauron.
Alvaral, I have not forgotten you, nor the warning you brought to us of Saruman. Let me now put your mind at ease. It seems he is the only of the wizards to betray us, and thank the powers it be so. While you were gone, a rider came up out of the south, Gandalf the Grey, astride a mighty horse, a steed of Rohan. We spoke only briefly, but it was enough to assure me that Gandalf still aligns himself on the side of the free people. And yet the wizard's tidings were not also rosy, for he said that evil forces are now in motion that could threaten the peace and safety of all of Middle-earth. He could spare no more time before hurrying into the Shire in pursuit of the Nazgul that preceded him. But what brings you back to this place? You briefly tell Halberd what you have learned of the Grey Fear, and that Gorwin and Meneldir believe it remains hidden somewhere within the keep of Dol or Nil. These swords you bring to me will be destroyed, for the runes that cover their faces are evil. But after I see that done, you must return to Dol or Nil. I, and not alone. I and several of my company will go with you. I fear the two who remained may be in great danger. So, we'll have to return to Gorwin's camp, and it sounds like Halberd is quite ready to lend aid to us in this endeavor. But of course, that will be for next time. And until then, bye for now.
Welcome, friend.